Hanging out on the East Coast. KB, it's tough to navigate the end of the summer. You know, like you're coming off of kids' activities all the time, but now you had to make sure you got all the kickoffs in, which I know you did because you read all the highlights for us.
Oh, yeah. We're never coming off the kids' activities, though, Jimmy. Those things never stop. The new ones start. They overlap. There's constantly. But you got to make time because we have, like, real football this weekend, real starting quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Jackson Dart, Kyler Murray. You take your pick, making real plays. There's also just, like, don't you guys feel there's real things to sink our teeth into this morning? There's real news. We got Rap Sheet here. It's like, feels all official. Let's rock and roll. Let's do it.
Well, speak as a devil, and he doth appear. Ian Rappaport, I love you. You're not devilish whatsoever. You give us the news, the information, Rap Sheet. There's always a big name lingering out there in the offseason, and whenever this person decides to sign a certain team, you're like, okay, we must be getting closer to a season. What do you got for us this morning, Rap Sheet?
I got Von Miller and his hometown Dallas Cowboys. Miller posted last night on Instagram a Photoshop of himself in a Cowboys uniform, and it was not wishful thinking. It was not him trying to speak it into existence, the team that he grew up rooting for, the team where he's actually been working out across the street from the facility for the last several weeks. This is real. Von Miller has, in fact, agreed to terms with the Dallas Cowboys. The team eventually made it official last night. Going to be a one-year deal for Von Miller. And for Dallas, the potential final piece for this team, if they've been looking for a little more on the edge, they've talked to a couple of teams about trade markets. They've looked around for available free agents. Von Miller certainly the most decorated last year at 36 years old for the Washington Commanders in very, very under-the-radar status. He had 9 sacks. What can Von Miller do at 37 for the team he always wanted to play for? As he said on Instagram last night, here we go.
And then Manti went with the top 5, and I was like, whoa! All right, Manti, if he's the top 5, there's only, you got Chase, you got CD, there's a lot of guys who are not going to be in the top 5. I have DJ at 90 catches. I've said it, 90. That's pretty substantial. Top 5, you're going to have to give like 115, but I love it. And I love that he's smiling while he does it. It's like preseason. Let's just get a hit, all right? I just want to get a hit. I know I'm not going to be here long. Let me get a hit. My favorite thing from the weekend was like late breaking. I know there's a lot of great action on the field, and a lot of the star quarterbacks look good. I really like Von Miller to the Cowboys. I do. I unapologetically really, really like this. I have to tell you, the other time I did a spit take, he had 9 sacks last year? How come I don't remember one of them? 9? I thought maybe you would have said he got a couple, and Von's always going to find the quarterback, and he's one of the greatest, but I couldn't. You know what, guys? I'm going to be even more honest with you. I'm not supposed to do this. If you asked me this morning what team Von was on last year, I don't think I would have been able to say the Commanders. It's just like they were this weird, murky team that was not in the limelight, and Jayden got hurt, and they didn't have a good year. I'm just blown away that the Dallas Cowboys decided to pick a future Hall of Famer with 9 sacks, and I'll tell you why. At that stage of his career for Von, a couple things you want for someone of his stature, his age, his experience. You want real focus and motivation, and I really do think he thinks it's cool to be on the Cowboys and the Texas thing, and he's back in Texas. I think he's really going to be motivated. And you just want comfort. You want closeness. You want proximity. He doesn't have to get some condo in New Jersey or Minnesota or something. Like, he is just home, comfortable. And it's like, the Cowboys are not getting Von Miller for 1 month of the season. They're not getting him. They don't need him for one game. They really don't even need him for one series. They need him for like one play. Yep. Von, can you give us one strip sack in week 17 when we're trying to win the East? And they got him. 9 sacks. Are you guys telling me that number didn't make your head turn? I can't believe that.
Kyle, I will admit as well, the same story. I was in Spain last year covering the Commanders-Dolphins game, and when Deebo Samuel walked off the bus, I was like, Deebo Samuel Commanders, it just hits so different. Then Von Miller walked by me, and I was like, what is this team right now? I can't. It's so
You're on the team, Von?
Like, all right, cool. I guess it's different in Spain. You know what I mean? All right. I hate to do this because we are a show of positivity and smiley faces of puppies and rainbows. But what is your least favorite thing from preseason week 1, Manti?
Well, Rap Sheet kind of covered it a little bit, and that was the Jackson Dart thing when Jackson Dart got hit. Now, I don't like the fact that Tyrone Tracy didn't block the end man on the line of scrimmage when you full slide. That's your only job that you have. But I also didn't like that Jackson Dart was surprised as to why he got put into the blue tent. Bro, you laid there on the logo. You didn't move for like 40 seconds. So what do you expect them to do? You expect them to say, oh, he's okay? Of course they're going to pin down and be like, hey, pull this guy to the blue tent. He didn't move for about a minute. So for all the quarterbacks out there, for players in general, if you don't want to get pulled into the blue tent, you get hit. I know it hurts. I've been there before. Get up. Like there's an old school thing is that you don't walk around like you're hurt. So if you don't want to get pulled into that thing in the era in this game where there's cameras on you at all times and there's a guy that's sitting up in a press box in New York somewhere that's specifically looking at the player health and safety of the players, just get up, buddy. Like, don't stay down. Don't lay down, KB. That was my least favorite part about the entire week one, and I had to pull because I loved the entire week one of football.
He couldn't get up because he took a massive hit, which is exactly why they should have examined him. I'm completely with you on this. First of all, let's hear from Jackson Dart afterwards, just like visibly annoyed that he had to go to the tent, and here's what he had to say.
As far as the blue tent, like I really respect the rules and the thought behind, the NFL has of keeping players healthy and reviewing things, but at the same time, I'm still puzzled by it just feeling like every time that I get hit, I just find my way in there.
All right, so I'm going to try to identify and sympathize with Jackson Dart. I'm going to try. I think it is probably very frustrating as someone who's trying to be a leader and project toughness to have this cast upon you, and it maybe looks like you're soft or brittle or something like that, that they're constantly dragging you in there in front of your teammates. When you want to show them, yeah, I took that hit and I'm fine. Like, I totally get that. But Jackson, like, they knocked you halfway to Piscataway. Like, this is a huge hit. And to Manthey's point, you're napping on the field for an hour, it looked like. Of course they're going to come see you. Like, this was not just your garden variety, I took a hit on the sideline, a nice pop on the shoulder pads. You were on the logo. And then you're on the logo on the 50-yard line. Every single person is watching you take the hit. This is why they flagged you, Jackson. They should have. And they are doing it for your benefit. And you say I respect the rule. I don't know if you do. Because this is why they are in place. And your own head coach, John Harbaugh, says, oh, I don't know, maybe the league takes into account the past of the play. Of course they take that into account. They got a whole dossier on Jackson Dart and all the stuff that was done to him his rookie year. So, yeah, guys, when you get blasted by an unblocked tackler and you are lying there night for 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, you're going to get looked at. You don't have to go to the hospital. You don't have to leave the sideline. But it's 2026. You would have got looked at in 1986. I was there. Like, I don't understand the confusion here. Huge hit, middle of the field, on the Giants logo. Night time. You take a look. You don't have to leave the game. You're not out of the game. But we're going to give you a once-over with the flashlight and all right? And it's for your own good. So I understand the frustration. I do. I actually respect the frustration. But I don't get the puzzlement at all. It's clear as day. Come on.
Yeah, you think it looks bad to get escorted into the blue tent. It looks worse if you take a hit on the next play and then it actually is bad for you. So, like, the team and the league, everyone wants the best for you, all right? Mm-hmm. Preseason week 2 gets underway on Thursday. It's just coming in hot already. And then on Saturday, here we go, week 2. What are we going to get from the